Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to Jay Speak. This week we cover some questions. First question, what is one of your favorite guitars that you ever sold? I think this is actually kind of funny. I think it was a Gibson Les Paul Vintage Mahogany Warm Brown. That was my favorite guitar I ever sold. And I actually sold it to my brother-in-law and then he sold it. And I was actually kind of sad about that one. I think I would have bought that guitar back. I named it Olivia. I just looked at that guitar and the name Olivia struck me. But it was a fantastic guitar. It was like the first year they were producing those guitars, and now they're just known as Les Paul Fadeds or satin models. But it had Birchbucker Pros, and at the time I was playing a Mesa Roadster, and I just loved it. And I had EL34s in that amp. Channel 2, I think it was Burt mode, was just phenomenal. I loved playing that. That's in my days when I played with the Burning State. I just love that combination, and I stupidly sold it. Just stupidly. I think a couple weeks ago I talked about I bought the same model again because I love the original so much, and that was one of those guitars. I bought a red vintage mahogany because I love the brown one so much, and I put P94s in it, and the guitar was lighter and it didn't sound as good even originally, and I sold that one. I think I sold that one before I even sold the brown one. So yeah, that was a thing. Question 2, how do I store my guitars? I store them as you see them. I don't have anything in a case. Everything is in the room. They're either hanging on the wall or they're sitting on a couple different guitar stands. I do have a couple different guitar stands, and maybe I'll show you those. I have a couple A-frame and then a couple ones with like the cheapy stands where it supports the neck in a cradle. And then I got like a 3-stand and like one of those case stands by Roadrunner that holds 5 guitars. For the most part, I use the string swings to support them on the walls. I've got a 5-guitar stand by Roadrunner that is actually really good. I like that one a lot. If I could buy another one for cheap, I think I would. They're kind of expensive now, and Fender has a version and it's ridiculous. Question 3, what is the point of an ABY? If you want to run 2 amps at the same time, 2 completely different rigs. So 2 combos, 2 different half stacks, 2 different heads into 112s, like whatever you're running, that will be the point. I like the orange detonator. This is the ABY I use. It is an ABY because you can run amp A, amp B, and then both. And I think that's like the coolest thing ever. Basically, you power this thing up, you put your guitar into it, amp B goes in here, amp A goes in here, and it goes straight to the input of the amp. So you can put, you know, your OR100 or your Rockaverb or your like a Fender Twin and a Mesa dual rectifier or whatever, and then you can toggle between them, and then you can do both, and it's either red, blue, or green. But I actually use this in a lot of demos too. I'll plug both amps in and run 2 different rigs. So use the Mesa head track, but that's different. That's not an ABY. That is 2 different heads into the same cabinet. So that's a little different setup, and you got to be careful with ohms and all that kind of stuff. But with an ABY, that doesn't matter. You plug in your amp to the correct ohm of the cab, and you just run 2 separate rigs. I mean, I guess you could do a wet-dry thing. You could do a combo and a half stack or whatever. It's really cool. If you haven't experimented with an ABY or like a head track or something, definitely do it. They're awesome little studio tools and even live tools as well. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. As always, thanks for watching. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Many more videos to come. Don't miss one sub.